Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Junior. I'm gonna start doing the videos about the trip planning. First video that I'm gonna do is how to get organized as far as the trip goes, that you get the load trip, you know, and whatnot. What I do is I got this pad. This is where I write my information on. Every time that I get a load, I write my information down, so I'm not having to go into the shippers, receivers with my phone. You know, I get the load information on my phone, but you know, you never know. You know, your phone might be down, or you got no service, battery's dead. You know, whatever it may be. You know, I got this. I got a small pad. You know, this is what I do all my stuff on, and I'll show you how I do that, how I look at the load on the Qualcomm and stuff. And yeah, just pretty much, you know, being organized. You know, this is all my students do this, or let me take that back. I show all my students how to do this. You know, once they get on their own, they implement their own little process of trip planning. I did this when I started driving. My trainer, Joseph Quitin, he's the one that taught me to do this, and I've been doing it ever since. And every single one of my students, I've taught them how to do this. So, you know, it's a good thing, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. All right. All right, guys. I'm ready. You know, I'm gonna show you how I do it. We got the load. If we look up here, we got the load. We notice that it's a two-stopper. You see the 01 for us is the pickup, and then the 02 is a stop in between, and then you got the 90, which is the final destination. So first one we're gonna look at load assignment. On the load assignment, it's gonna show us the trip number, the reefer set point, which is 38 degrees, the IntelliSet for the reefer, which is 5-degree variance, and then you want to look at the, you know, empty miles and loaded miles, so you know what to do, what you're going and whatnot. You know what I mean? How far you got to go to pick it up, and how far the load is. So also another thing is you want to do is you want to scroll down, make sure that you read any comments that they have on the bottom. You know, I don't know, your Qualcomm maybe give you comments, maybe it doesn't, but you know, first thing we're gonna do is the trip number. You know, we're gonna write it down here. Remember, guys, you're gonna put the temperature it needs to be run at, and then the IntelliSet you need to be running it at on the bottom. The trip goes in the middle. Empty miles and loaded miles go over here on the far left. Empty miles is 96. Loaded is 630. And then on the very top, we put the trailer that we got. In this case, I don't have one because I just dropped it. So we're gonna leave it blank until we actually pick up the load. And then once we pick up the load, then you'll put the trailer number on top. The trailer that you have on the top, you're always gonna keep track of it, you know, for your records. You know, if you dropped it at the receiver and then you picked up another trailer, so you would drop that receiver, and then on the bottom you're gonna put the new trailer number picked up at receiver. You always want to keep a log of the trailers that you got. You know, if the company ever comes back and says something to you, you can always go back to these and tell them what's going on, what you had and what you picked up and whatnot. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I told you that I dropped this load. I brought in an empty. I dropped it at the yard, the empty lot that they got. I'm waiting for the trailer to get loaded. So as you can see, I left an open spot there, and I noted I dropped it at the 01, which the shipper, you can write shipper, and then I picked up at the 01 at the shipper. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the, we already got the information we need. We need the trip, the reefer setting, the trip, the empty and the loaded miles, and whatever trailer we got. Alright, in this case we don't have one yet because we just doing the drop and hook, so mine's getting loaded. So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go into your pickup, which it says location 1, and then it says P. So the pickup says that it'll always say location 01, which is the shipper. P for pickup, the customer code, that is the code that you're going to input into Qualcomm, and it's going to give you exact directions to get to the location, but we're not going to do that now. I'm just showing you how to lay out your trip or your load. So you got this name of the place, city, the address, the city and state, phone number, the time for the appointment. Alright, expected driver service. SLC means shipper loader count. If it says SLDC, it means shipper loader driver count. So it's important to look at that, because if you need to be on the dock to count the product, you could be liable if you're not on the dock. So you scroll down some more, you look at the order number, pickup reference number, and then you scroll down, make sure that there's not any other numbers, and it says continue on next page. So we're going to go to list. This is the continuation, from the other message. We're going to scroll down, and we notice that there's two different POs reference numbers, 626 and 623. Because I have two drops. Always read the notes. Always make sure you read the notes on the bottom. Maybe there's something that pertains to you, maybe it doesn't. So we're gonna go back to the original, and I'm gonna input the information on here. Let's see. The code, you're always gonna put the code on the far right in all caps. The date it picks up, so we know that there's a window between 13:30 and 23:59. All right, so once we get that out the way, we go to the next one, which will be our first drop, which you can see on here. It says D, that's for drop. P for pickup, D is for drop. Same thing, you're gonna go through it. So what I usually do is I always make 2 lines for my numbers. Maybe a 3rd line, but I always use 2 lines to write down all my numbers. So after you get that first one, which is the 01, which is the pickup, we skip 2 lines, and then we're going to do the first drop, which is the 02. So if there's not a window, you're going to leave this part out. You know, if it's a set number, you're going to leave that out and just put one time. You're not going to copy this. You're not going to repeat it. And if you see on this one, it says expected driver services, RUDC. It means receiver unload driver count. So it's important to make sure that you pay attention to that, because in this case we have to be on the dock. You got to count it. So we got to put the last drop, which would be the 90. You want to go to the next page. You want to make sure you copy that trip number, 2385539. All right. You know, the 90 is always going to be the final drop. So, I just showed you guys what to do as far as the load goes. You know, so whenever you go to check in, you take this pad with you. Alright. Alright guys, I just showed you what I do with my loads. As you can see on here, you know, I got the load, my two stops. So I have the 02 and the 90. Alright. So whenever you go to check in, whether you're picking up or delivering, you always want to take the pad with you. You have the numbers on here, written on here, as far as the pickups or whatever they need, POs or whatever they may need. It's all right here. You don't have to finagle with your phone, you know, no service, you know, because you get to some areas that you have no service. Again, this is something I teach all my students to do. I show them how to do it. It's up to them to keep up with it, you know what I mean? So I think it's very good. You know, every time I get a load, I'm always doing this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's always being done. It's a good thing for a good track record. Keep up with the trailers, you know, on the top or whatever. So so yeah guys, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, always read the comments on the Qualcomm as far as the load goes. Always make sure you read them, and any comments that you may have on the load assignment, always read them. Alright guys, well, you know, I hope it helps you guys, and you know, if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them in the section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, the video, like I said, this is the first of many trip planning videos. So again, this is what I do with everybody. Even if I have no student, I'm doing this. My trainer, Joseph Quitant, he taught me that. I kept it. It is a very good thing. So alright guys.